Ariel Helwani in Las Vegas for UFC 202 alongside Tim Means, who faces Sabah Homasi this Saturday live on pay-per-view. Tim, it's good to see you again. Before we get into your fight, just curious, your thoughts on what happened yesterday. You're holding a bottle of water, so it made me think of it. What do you make of that whole press conference?
I get people to talk about it. I guess I need to throw something to Homasi over there. But
do it right now. Come on, we'll get it.
It gets people talking about the fight. There's some real emotions and animosity there. Let's see if those emotions fatigue each other when they get in the fight. But I think the mental warfare that McGregor's trying to play isn't going to work on the Diaz guys, and I think he's a little confused by that because it's not working.
Do you think it is embarrassing for the sport or bad for the sport? Do you subscribe to that notion at all?
We're fighters, man. At the end of the day, we're here, we're riding. We've been built for the last 2 months to show up and beat each other up. So this thing's going to happen. This isn't scripted or nothing like that. Emotions flare up, and it happens. I think if somebody wasn't going to buy the pay-per-view after watching yesterday's conference, I think it's going to happen now because animosity's fun to watch two guys not like each other and hit each other.
So this is good for you, right? You get to kick off the whole thing on pay-per-view.
Yeah, my fight isn't being talked about a whole lot. I have a dangerous guy sitting across from me, but they have to watch my fight to get to the main event, so it's a good thing.
How much do you know about Saba, who just took this fight on 8 days notice or something, maybe a little more than that, 10 days notice? How much did you know about him when they offered you him?
I didn't know anything about him. He comes from a good camp. I fought one of his teammates a couple times, or two of them, whatever. He looks to hit hard, throws kind of wild and reckless. He's been hurt his last 2 fights by guys who are out of shape and I thought weren't on his level. So I think he's got some weaknesses in his defense, and I'm just going to have to let him make that mistake and get him.
Bizarre year for you, no doubt. I mean, you had that big opportunity in February, and you get pulled from the card on very short notice. And I'm sure at one point you thought maybe you wouldn't be able to fight for 2 years, right? Just being here 48 hours before a fight, is that a victory in itself for you? Are you a lot more grateful of the opportunity than prior?
Yes. I'm very thankful to be here because that 2-year thing thrown in my face, I was getting ready to, my first main event.
Yeah.
And then my livelihood was taken away. So I had to get out of fight mode, turn the switch off, which was hard for me to do in the past. I was able to be mature about the issue, get in contact with Jeff Nowitzki. He was able to ask all the right questions, and I just let them do their job, sit back. Thursday's issue happened with Strickland getting injured. Joe called my coach, Tom, right away and said, hey, he's going to be on the show, stay ready. I did just that, man. Anytime these guys have told me anything from the UFC, they've followed through with exactly what they've said. So thankful to work for a guy like Joe Silva or Dana White who say they're going to do something, then they follow through and do it. So I went from making good money last year with the UFC to making $9 an hour to start the year off and no income coming in. So I took my performance bonus that I had, lived off that for a little while, but I went through custody court with my daughters, won that, spent a lot of money there. Then the USADA deal, spent a lot of money there, lost a lot of money there. So
how much did you lose?
We're right at $208,000 for lost wages and
$208,000 on just the USADA deal?
Just the USADA. And
where'd that money go?
Well, the lost fight was a big chunk, and then my training camp that I'd spent money in my training camp was another 25 grand.
Wow.
So with that being said, I thought I was going to be out another 10 grand for this camp, so it just is what it is, man. You lose money, but you can make money, and I'm happy to get back here and make some checks.
What were you doing to earn $9 an hour earlier in the year?
I was the grunt, lower end of the totem pole welding, doing like custom beds, making bumpers, stuff like that.
Wow.
So I was not good at it. I didn't put my whole life into that, but mainly I just wanted to get my motor going in a different way and not be in fight mode and get myself into trouble. We live in New Mexico. It's kind of a violent city or violent state. It's got a lot of good fun things about it, but you run into jerks left and right. I didn't want to have to punch somebody or do something dumb, so I just kept myself busy.
So here you are, Tim Means, who's getting set to main event on national television. That gets taken away from you for something that you believe you did not do. You're innocent, and then you go to making $9 an hour in welding. I mean, mentally, your ego, all that involved emotionally. How do you come to terms with that?
I just put it in the back seat, man. I let my ego and pride get the best of me in the past, and it caused me to go to prison.
Yeah.
So. Crazy thing is I don't have no felonies, but I had enough misdemeanors stacked against me and made me eligible for that time, and it was because of my pride and ego. That stuff didn't work for me in the past. Going and getting a bottle of Jack Daniels didn't work for me in the past, so I went a different route, and I just stayed centered. I went home, played with my kids after work, and just got out of the gym. I wasn't even training or whatever. I just wanted out of the fight mode. The only thing that was offered was 2-year suspension, so I put worst case scenario in my head. I thought the supplement stuff was just an excuse, I thought I didn't think in a million years that they would find it in a supplement. I didn't know where they were going to find it, and it wasn't me trying to believe myself that I didn't take the product. I didn't take it. I didn't take it intentionally. I wasn't denying what they found in my system. I just knew I didn't intentionally take the product. Took pictures of all my stuff, sent it to Jeff. The very first product they've picked out was what it was.
Wow.
They found the supplement company pulled it off the shelves like 2 days after the statement was released. The guy I was going through, who was a good friend of mine, I know his family, we've barbecued together, he called, warned the manufacturer. The manufacturer immediately wanted to talk to me. We had all this in text messages. It helped me in my hearing with USADA. So we weren't able to do the Yoel and John Jones thing. The supplement company pulled it off the shelves, and we weren't able to locate it. It took a long time to locate it. Took a while of research and investigating. And Jeff is outstanding at what he does. So very thorough what they did, and they were able to put all the facts and the dots together, and they got it done.
Are you going to sue this company? Because they, like you said, you lost a lot of money because of them.
Yes, we're in the middle of that. That's how I know the numbers that we're at right now. I'm in the middle of that. Plus,
Middle of a lawsuit?
Yeah, we're in the middle of that. I have 2 attorneys, Howard Jacobs, and then his good friend, I forget that guy's name. The guy I've been working with is Howard Jacobs. He's been in 200 cases with USADA. Very good at what he does. I didn't have to pay him anything up front, but I still owe him $15,000. So once I get done with this fight, I got to pay him off.
Wow.
So it was something, I was hoping for a little bit of help from the UFC on it, since I didn't knowingly do it. But it is what it is. They've put me in the right direction, got me lined up with a great attorney, and got it done. So I'll take care of the bill.
Do you feel like you're still fighting the stain of being called a cheater? Because as you know, in the court of public opinion, you're often guilty until proven innocent, which is obviously the backwards way of the way it should be. Do you feel like you still fight that stigma?
We've had an outstanding amount of support on the deal from fans, but then you have your little trolls and stuff. Only on Twitter, by the way. They came out, say some hateful things, trying to get a reaction. I've Googled Earth, looked at their address, found out where they were at.
Oh, no.
But
don't go to their address.
Yeah, wanted to offer, a reward to, find the guy for me or whatever. But, at the end of the day, I'm happy with my life. Even if there's a curveball thrown and I miss it or whatever, I can still get up and dust myself off, and I'm in a great position to continue my life.
You are a resilient man.
Thank you.
It's great to see you here. Happy that you got to this point. You still got to fight. Good luck on Saturday. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.